Nice cozy place, ain't it? What's up, guys? It's been a while. I missed you guys. It's actually been, what, like a month since we last uploaded?
I don't even know, like...
Been on a little vacation. As you can see, Wally is still on vacation. Oh, wait, I can't swear in the beginning. Hang on. So today I actually wanted to try something new. And that something different is not a reaction. It's actually more of a commentary. Figured now that we're in a new studio, we try something new. A nice cozy fireplace up there. Wonderful brick to create an ambiance. A comfy couch. There's a second one over there, but you know, again, there's a certain someone missing. But it's okay, because you didn't watch the show anyway. Normally, I'm an action anime guy, like the My Heroes, the DBZs, the One Punch Man, the Solo Levelings, etc. Well, one of my friends decided to tell me about a show that he thought was going to be really good. And quite honestly, if you've watched it, I'm kind of judging a little. But I watched it in its entirety, so you can judge me too. Isn't that great? So let's talk about it a little bit. The show I decided to go out and watch is a show called Domestic Girlfriend. If you haven't heard of it yet, the show was written and illustrated by a guy named Kai Sasuga. Kai? I want to say Kai. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But also not really, because what are you writing? According to Wikipedia, it was serialized in like Shonen Jump's magazine from April 2014 to June 2020. And it had about 28 volumes. The anime itself is actually going on for 3 months, from January to March in 2019. So the anime is about this character named Natsu, who's hopelessly in love with his teacher, Hina, like a lot of us did back in the day. We all had one. We all had a crush on one of our teachers, or two, or three. We're moving on, which is exactly what Natsu tried to do by going to his thing called a mixer, which I recently learned was more of like a group blind dating situation, which is kind of cool. I feel like that'd be a fun time. But while he's out at this mixer, he meets a girl named Rui, who invites him to sneak out to her place so they can do a little bit of bam, you know what I'm saying? And after he does the bam and meets up with his dad the next day, his dad tells him that he's gonna remarry and he wants to introduce Natsu to the new family. And when the door opens and you get to see who the new family is, it's not only his teacher, which is kind of to be expected, right? You gotta expect that. It's also the girl he smashed the night before. And guess what? The teacher and the girl he smashed the night before are siblings. And guess what else? They are all about to become step siblings. Do you get where this is kind of going now? Japan, like, I love you, right? But you kind of are starting to feel, it's starting to feel like you're taking step sis a little too seriously. Or sis a little too, sis. Anyway, let's get into an episode by episode basis. But before we do, I wanted to let y'all know that we are still not sponsored by Mountain Dew. So Mountain Dew, you know, I'm still waiting, you know? So the show starts off with a little bit of some steamy stuff. You're getting a little bit of that post-sexy time. They're obviously having a little bit of regret setting in, but it's pretty normal. I think some of us who have had sex have had those moments. Quite a lot, actually. But then we get a fast forward into kind of a rewind, where he starts telling his homeboy about what happened that night. And his homeboy is just, quite honestly, in shock, just like, which makes sense, because it's not that often, especially when you're an average-looking guy, that you get some girl walking up to you and being like, hey, you want to go back to my place and smash, right? I wish it happened more often, right? Be as steamy as this fireplace. But anyway, after he does, he starts telling him about how it happened. And that's when you get back to like the whole, oh, here's how this goes. You get to see the teacher for the first time that he's got a crush on, and she's cute, right? Like, she's not like, oh, goddamn, like, you know, like some of those sexy muscle mommies that you see out there. But she's cute. He was down bad. His homeboys are like, let's go out to Mixer. While they're there, he runs into Miss Rui, the girl you see in the beginning, where they had that like little bit of that weird sexy time regret. He starts trying to spit some game, and doesn't seem like he's doing too much in the beginning. But then she's just like, which is, he did his job. And let me tell you, when they get back to his place and she does the coldest, the fact that she was just like, we can either fuck or you can leave, was crazy to me. I was just like, so they smashed. and he moved on with his day. And a lot of this I've already kind of recapped in the beginning when I was kind of giving you guys the intro. The rest of episode 1 continues. His teacher telling him, you can call me sis now, and blah, 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 blah. And then the first, like, understandable hot for teacher situation kind of kicks in, where she walks out of the bathroom. She's just got a towel draped over, and YouTube, don't demonetize me. Because, oh God, I get it, dude. I get it. Like, I'm not judging. But what I am judging is when his new stepsis gets really drunk and is laying on the couch. He pulls one of these.
一度だけ最後に一度だけこれで全部終わりにするから
And that, of course, is when he gets caught by none other than the girl he already fucked. Dude is in a crazy place right now. Because that's where episode 1 ends. Dude almost pulled the move that would have gotten him so canceled and maybe imprisoned. I can tell you, at the end of episode 1, I was already kind of hooked. I was just like, this is interesting in a weird way, and I am judging myself along with my friend who recommended it. If you watch this, dude, I am judging you so much. Of course, in episode 2, new younger stepsis, you know, the one that's actually his age, the one that's not his teacher, that he could... Technically, it would make more sense for him to go after this one rather than the teacher, but, you know, seeing as A, they've already smashed, but B, they're of the same age. I don't know why I'm making this comparison when they're step-siblings now, technically. So, right at the beginning of episode 2, you see this girl dragging her sister across the floor, like the rag doll she actually was, I guess, in that moment, because... Damn. But she saved her older sister from a weird situation. And man, I can tell you the confrontation that I was expecting was not how that went. But we're gonna go there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Next morning, this happens.
なんで誰も起こしてくんねえんだよ。起こしといてって頼んだけど、あの子一声かけるだけだから。起きて。
あいつ
And quite honestly, I get it. You see the dude you fucked trying to kiss your sister, you're now step-siblings. She already has a don't-care attitude anyway, right? But then they start having like sibling-like arguments in school. Natsu's trying to get his new stepsis to make some friends, because, you know, you need friends at the new school you go to. They both make a little bit of a scene, but it's okay, right? Until the next fucking scene. And what does she say?
いいよ、別に。一回見てんじゃん。
You've already seen me anyway. We need to talk. Now this is where they finally have that weird talk about the you just tried to kiss my sister last night. Which, I feel like there's a place and time. Maybe she could have just been like, after she took the bath, hey, let's meet up in my room. I need to have a talk to you, right? Not when you're both naked in the bathroom together. That just doesn't feel like the place and time. Right? I'm having other thoughts going on in my head in that moment. Okay? I'm not paying attention if I'm having that conversation.
Dirty boy, dirty, dirty, dirty!
Here's where I mentioned earlier that I was not expecting the conversation to go this way.
もしかしてひな姉のこと慰めようとしたの？
I don't know if she was just trying to convince herself that he wasn't being a piece of poop. I don't know. I don't want to call a girl dumb. But, you know, she created her own justification, and dude got out of trouble in the luckiest of ways. 'Cause, man, in real life,
お前を殺すここで今
nothing else too crazy happens in this episode aside from Miss Sensei Sis kind of being slightly flirty with younger brother and him asking about her boyfriend situation because he noticed something in episode 1. that I didn't mention. Also, dude's a writer. I don't know if I brought that up earlier. Like, one of the big things about this character is the fact that he's just like, I love writing stories. Forgot about that. And right when things start feeling a little bit like things are starting to settle down after flirty stepsis and asking about boyfriend, does stepbro do the miraculous save? The save you see in every... Ew, I just burped a little bit. The save you see in every show. And what does that mean in my head? Well, that means that at some point in this fucking show, they're gonna smash. Good old Sensei Sis. Right before the episode ends, Sensei Sis is having an issue with her mans outside the door. And Natsu catches up, sees that she's having an issue. He starts pulling the mode, and then episode basically ends. Leaves you on a cliffhanger. Episode 3. We pick up right where we left off in episode 3 with Sensei Sis being manhandled by Natsu. And that's when step sis number 2 comes up and just like answer the goddamn door. And she answers it, and it's literally just their parents. Tis what it is, I guess. After that, you know, we do a fast forward into Natsu going to go visit his best friend at his best friend's family restaurant. I'm assuming it's their family restaurant at least, because that's where Homeboy tends to be for the majority of the season, and I'm pretty sure it might be downstairs. I may have missed that part, so don't judge me too much. I'm just recapping as much as I can remember. And that's where we meet the sassiest man of this entire show. He says Masaki, or whatever his name is first, I think it was, right? Yeah, Masaki, but then he's just like, nah, call me Marie. My name is Immediately, I was just like, I'm gonna like this character. I think I needed this character in the show because it distracts me from all the other fucked up shit. But as usual, that's where Natsu starts venting to his ugly ass homeboy and telling him everything that's happened. Homeboy had some tea from this cafe that I think is still his family's. I really don't know if it's his family's or not. I should probably look into it, but I'm really not going to. Tell me down below, was it his family's or was it not?
で、どんな感じ? ああ、不倫 OL が節目がちにこう切り出すわけよ。
We start spilling the tea that he found out while listening in about Sensei Sis having an affair with a married man.
ちょっとあなた、その女誰なの? マリー? 何人の旦那にちょっかい出してんのよ、この泥棒猫! なんですって?このメスタル、この人は私のものよ!
That's spicy. That's wrong, ain't it? But you know it's not wrong apparently in Natsu's eyes? The fact that she's your freaking stepsister! Ah, man. I really hope I didn't mess up Wally's chair too much while doing that. Anyway, we're gonna move forward. After this moment, Natsu feels like it's a good idea to start confronting his sister because he really feels like this is the worst thing in the world. He goes to Sensei Sis's room and he starts trying to talk to her about the whole situation. And what does she do? She tells him, this is grown-up shit. This ain't your problem. Move on. And she starts trying to shove him out the door. But right before she does, Natsu kisses his stepsis. But that's not the fucking worst part. Now, if y'all thought that he was fucked up for kissing his stepsis, she kisses him back with goddamn tongue. With goddamn tongue. And then she shoves him on the bed, rips open his shirt to the point where you can hear a button flying off, pins him down, and says,
ほら、怖がっちゃってるじゃない。やっぱり大胆なことして生きがって見せても、目はまだ子供だよ。
Basically, come back to me when you grow some hair on your balls, boy. You ain't got nothing right now, boy. Yeah, I don't know why I put that voice on, but you know. That hurt. That really hurt. I know it hurt, because dude was crying. But he gets so down bad that he runs back to his friend, and he's just like, I need to stay with you. And he stays there for a bit until of-age stepsis, I should probably call her by her name, Rui, goes out to find him in the rain with her umbrella. and she sees stepbro over there in the window, and rather than say, hey, you should come home, she says, can I stay with you? Because guess what? She also knows that her sister is having an affair. Oh, also Rui finds out that he told homeboy about the fact that they smashed. And she was just like, alright, whatever.
言ったの？
いや、
あんた同じ学校？
いや、違うけど。
じゃあまあいっか。
いいの？
So what do? They devise a plan to get Sensei Sis to break up with the man that she's having an affair with. I personally think that's a little bit too intrusive. I don't think I'd ever tell my sibling to break up with somebody, but this is a different culture. Maybe that's a thing in Japanese culture where you can just blatantly be like, you should not break up with your sibling. Hey, whoa, hang on. I've gotten too deep, guys. I've gotten too deep. My older sister, or any of my siblings for that matter, would just tell me to fuck off at that point. But regardless, we're moving on to the next episode. I wrote a script for myself, guys. I suck at following scripts. I'm trying to bullshit this as much as possible, drinking my Mountain Dew, and I am woo-wee. I can't read. Now after they devise this plan, they meet up with Sensei Sis and her man's that is cheating on his wife, which is still bad, don't get me wrong. Like, I know that I'm trying to portray that they're in the wrong for doing what they're trying to do, but I completely understand that this is still fucked up. You shouldn't be fucking somebody that's not your wife, or your husband for that matter. Like, don't be cheating. But they meet up, and basically the siblings are just like, we don't like you, break up with my sister. What's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? You have a wife. But I like her. I have a wife, but I like her. So I'm gonna probably just keep smashing. He needed something to happen to him too. He was kind of a piece of shit. It's a crazy triangle. And normally, like I said, I'm an action anime guy. I don't usually like these things, right? But man, did I want to find out how this show ended. After the talk, Sensei Sis came to the conclusion that she was just like, after seeing my siblings kind of be really mad about this whole situation, even in front of you, in public, you're embarrassing. You should have handled that a lot better. You were breaking up. No, she didn't say that other part, but you know, she did break up with him. School kicks in, and Rui meets a new friend, who all of her other friends are saying, she's a whore! Like, don't talk to her. And of course, Rui being Rui, was like, nah, she an outcast now. I like her more. So after Rui and Momo become the best of friends, because that's what outcasts do, you become the best of friends immediately, for some reason. Toxic loves toxic. Momo decides to pull some weird witch shit and just, you know, shows her a keychain that she made of Rui out of nowhere and just like, yep, here you go, this is for you. I'd be concerned, quite honestly, if somebody just made a keychain of me that quickly. Anyway, they went out, they were hanging out, having fun, and that's when they run into Natsu. And Momo asks Rui if Natsu's got a girlfriend. I like your stepbro. I think I want to fuck your stepbro. I don't know what Natsu's doing, quite honestly, but I need to know what his game is, because he's just pulling them. He's not pulling the one he really wants necessarily yet, but he's pulling them. I need some of that game, you know what I mean? Little did she know that Rui was like, same dude. After that, Rui gets sick, Natsu finds her, apparently passed out at the front doorstep, and he brings her back inside. She wakes up and she's like, damn dude, I'm sweaty. And just strips and is like, wash my back. Wash the sweat off my back.
妹、病人。
Yikes. That's when Rui asks if he likes anybody. But she just straight up is like, oh yeah, Momo likes you. She wants to go on a date with you. All seems well until she straight up asks him to shove a suppository up her butt. That's right, you heard me. She asked him to shove a suppository up her butt. Skipped past that scene because I don't want to get demonetized. if the rest of this conversation isn't gonna already demonetize me. God damn. Eventually, him and Momo do end up going on that date. They're having fun. Momo's being extra flirty. It's a cute little date. And after the date, she invites Natsu back to her place to Things are seen in a little steamy, and it's here you'd think, this is completely fine. Everything's consensual. She's all about it. Natsu's shirt is stripped open. Her shirt is getting stripped open. He decides to friend zone her because he has morals.
寂しい時は声かけてよ。また一緒に食べよう。
ありがとう。
And at that point, he basically tells her, you know, maybe don't fuck as many dudes as I have thoughts of my stepsis, because, you know, that's normal. When this episode starts, we find Natsu in his favorite spot of his school, the roof, where we find questionable sensei number 2, which, if I'm being 100% honest, may be worse than questionable sensei number 1. Anyway, Teach hops down from his smoking spot and asks Natsu what's his favorite book, which kind of gave me a little bit of like Todo Itadori vibes.
どんな女がタイプだ。
ケツとタッパのでかい女の子かな。ジェニファー・ローレンスとか。
どうやら俺たちは親友のようだな。
And after he gets his answer though, he does not cry like Todo. Instead, he pulls the creepiest I think we'll get along I've seen in a while.
君とは気が合いそうです。いい目をしている。
And just walks away, which is like kind of a little bit of a power move if I'm being honest, but that's not the point. After that traumatizing moment, it's time for Natsu and Rui to go look for clubs at school because, you know, they need extracurricular activities that's not smashing. And that's where Natsu's boys are just like, oh, don't worry, Natsu. We'll help your stepsis. But of course, Rui says no, because, you know, that ain't the type of girl Rui is. Rui only likes step bros. If you ain't a step bro, she ain't.
Smashing.
They go to book club. And while there, Natsu happens to catch Riz-sensei rizzing up a separate student. Only this time, I don't think he's really that jealous, you know? I think he's more concerned. But of course, Riz-sensei catches Natsu and is just like, what are you doing? You stealing a book? Stealing's bad. You know, I'll let it slide if you join book club. And so Natsu joins book club, which ain't a bad thing. Natsu loves writing, right? We've established this. Natsu's a writer. So I think that was gonna be the club he joined anyway, if it wasn't for Riz-sensei, but you know. Next day, of course, they start talking romance novels, cause why not? And Riz-sensei starts talking like you'll never know what it's like until you experience it.
そこで顧問である僕からの提案ですが、君たち、今ここでキスしてみなさい。
はい。
If you weren't questioning at this point what this guy's thing is, I think maybe you've watched too many of these. Things get obviously uncomfortable. The other child is, she puckered up and ready to kiss our boy. Neither of them really want to do it, but this girl is doing anything this teacher says, which is something's going on there. And I don't know if that ever gets resolved. Our boy is trying his best not to do the wrong thing, and that's when Riz-sensei is just like, oh, you're gonna embarrass this girl? So he gets ready. He's about to, and luckily the gentleman side kicks in because he sees this girl crying and he stops himself. Quite honestly, Riz-sensei was way too serious in that moment. Like, there's way too many red flags for this guy. And if you're not seeing what I'm seeing, get out. Later on, Momo and Rui joins the book club because, you know, that's all Natsu needs, more attention in the book club now. That night, Rui decides to go to the cafe and meets up with our good friend Marie and pulls a... But the most important part of this episode is that we learn that Marie is the most badass person in this entire show, seeing as he is ex-Yakuza. Yep, that is right. Our favorite flamboyant man who is letting his curls go to and fro and to was an ex-Yakuza. And then he came out and he left because I think his dad maybe disowned him or something, which I guess that makes sense. Onward. Natsu and Sensei Sis go on a sibling date, I guess. I don't know what the fuck that's about. He gets the you're like a brother to me, but for real, because, you know, they're siblings. The date goes nicely, they're having fun, blah, 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 blah. She apologizes for telling him he had a little dick. And now this is where we get our plot twist. Not in a great way, though, because this is where we learn that Sensei Sis's ex, you know, the one that was cheating on his wife, that was her teacher when she was Natsu's age.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Then Natsu confessed his love for his Sensei Sis. No comment. Yeah, she then asks him out and starts walking him into the water for the most unnecessary analogy she could have ever done. And that's where Rui gets jealous and goes, you know, we did that bang bang into the room, you know, but we never kissed that day. So we should do that. So what do they do? She leaves and says, yo, that was cool, my G. Come back the same time tomorrow to do it again. Don't tell nobody. Moving on, we're back in the book club, which is becoming Natsu's like new favorite spot. Like it's no longer the roof. And Natsu and the babes are talking about the book publication thing that I guess is happening over the summer or something. And for the first time, Sensei Riz becomes a good teacher and reminds them to stop dreaming because dreams don't bring home the money and they need to study for finals, cause duh. And also, he's wearing flip-flops. I think the only reason is because the author just wanted for me to consistently stay uncomfortable. Due to Sensei Riz's reminders, Rui and Natsu remember that they have McDonald's at home and beg Sensei Sis to help them study, which they do, until Natsu decides to get up one night and catches Sensei Riz, how am I gonna put this without getting demonetized? Releasing some dopamine with her door open and then not calling Natsu's name. Of course, Natsu gets sad. Sensei Riz realizes the first rule of fighting Master Hand, which is closing your goddamn door. And the episode ends. Episode 8. So right at the beginning of the episode, Natsu meets a white guy, and what does he do immediately? He has a thing for Rui, because literally it seems like everybody has a thing for Rui, except our boy. Back at home, Rui and Natsu are doing their thing, and that's when Sensei Sis catches Natsu being a two-time no-good sister-loving player. Our boy wanted to eat his cake and fuck it too. Of course, Sensei Sis gets jealous. She runs to her room. Rui goes to go talk to her. As soon as she goes to talk to her, she starts explaining everything that's happened up until this point. Well, not everything, but, you know, explains kind of what happened up until that point. And that's when she finally admits that she has a crush on our boy. I don't know why I said it that way. I'm not into that. And Sensei Sis, being a good older sister, tries to knock some sense into Rui, of course, right? But that's when Rui goes, she pulled the we aren't related by blood card. Which, yes, but no! And due to all the controversy, that's when Sensei Sis finally tells Natsu that she's moving out. Then she tells the family that they're moving out. And of course, the family, in celebration for Sensei Sis, you know, getting her own place and whatnot, decides to go to a carnival that weekend, which is where Natsu and Sensei Sis have a heated argument. This relationship, even if they weren't siblings by law, seems a little bit, you know, faulty. But Sensei Sis doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Natsu starts to show his toxic masculinity side just to prove that his dick isn't little, but you know, Marie comes to save the day. Because I think we all know who has the biggest package in this story. The ex-con curl having, butt cheek flapping in the wind, confident ass dude. This random child decides to give Sensei Sis a condom pop and tells her,
hey, have a Snickers. You get a little hungry when you're angry.
They have that heartfelt conversation finally. Things start looking on the up and up, and Natsu thinks he's convinced her to stay. Episode 9! Sensei Sis ain't staying. Natsu starts complaining, just being like, I thought we had this conversation, why are you leaving, blah, 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 blah. And that's when Sensei Sis comes up with a bunch of BS reasons and then tells him the real reason. Rui runs into her sister's ex, and things start looking a little bit wild for a second there, but he wants to apologize. So Rui accepts the apology by making him a little bit of a sugar daddy for a second there.
さあ、ルイさん、好きなものを頼んでいいよ。ご馳走するから。
じゃあ、ラマン特製スーパーデラックスドリームラブゲームパフェ。待つで。
いいの ?5000 円だけど。
おごりなんで。
Then it's Rui's turn to try and get Sensei Sis to stay. He tells her she won't make a move on her brother anymore, because having a big sister feels so much better than having a brother who can put more than a suppository in her ass. Oh god, why did I write this line? The answer stays the same. Sensei Sis ends up leaving our boy a key, because at this point, I give up on all morality. But that's not all that happened, because our boy, Natsu, officially sibling-zoned Rui.
お前が心細くならないように俺も支えるからさ。兄弟として。
Because Rui has officially become the We Have Sensei Sis at Home. Natsu wastes no time but to show up unannounced to Sensei Sis's new place, watching her sleep like a creep, and then states that he's not only prepared, but he wants to finally show her that her little man downstairs— whoa, not her little man, wait a minute, Gio. Wanted to show her finally that his little man downstairs is not little. Maybe. And at this point, the only thing important that happens at the end of the episode is that Sensei Sis and him run into each other at the school. They have a little bit of a talk. They have a makeout sesh behind a little thingy, like high school sweethearts. Cause he's in high school, lady! Oh shit. What? Listen, I said action anime. Live stuff, like real stuff. I'll watch whatever anybody recommends. I'm not gaslighting anybody. I didn't say I didn't change. I didn't say shit. At this point, there's no subtlety. I don't think they give a fuck anymore. They gave up on caring. It's just first scene, they're making out. Food's burning, but they're making out. We then get every anime nerd's favorite bedroom outfit and every anime nerd's favorite cosplay, all at the same time. Riz Sensei, who at this point has turned down the student Riz a bit, thankfully, got sick. So they went to go and visit him. Plot twist again. We get reminded that Natsu wants to be an author because we find out that Riz Sensei is his favorite author. I guess. Nobody cares. Like, let's be real. Okay? Forget the ploy, the jokes, whatever else I wrote here, okay? We're not here at all anymore for this random side plot of, oh, he's an author. He wants to write. No one gives a fuck. I think at this point we have all accepted the fact that we're just trying to see which sister is he going to fuck forever. Or is he gonna fuck both? Maybe both. Oh, also, Natsu points out that Riz Sensei may be banging Little Miss Submissive on the side, and she breaks his leg. Which I guess leads us on to the next point. Okay, a bit toxic.
それを嬉しいってどう
And see, that's what we were waiting for.
ってきてんだよ。
今さら前に見てんじゃん。母さんからも解除してあげてって頼まれてんの。
じゃあ見えねえように電気消してくれよ。
More of what we were waiting for.
前もやろうか？足とか。
自分でやるからいい。
And of course.
ボディーソープ。ボディーソープ。あれ。ねえ、もしかして。うるさい!
Eventually, Rui takes advantage of Natsu's tea spillers to find out why he's never home for dinner and catches her favorite body soap being a two-timing no-good sister-loving player. Things are starting to seem a little familiar now, aren't they? Well, regardless, she runs away. Natsu's tea guy warns him way too late, and Natsu goes to find his second-rate duelist who simultaneously has realized that she has a fourth-rate deck.
将来は先生と一緒になりたいと思ってる。
本気？
ああ。
そう。
おい。
Nigga. Rui's heart freezes over more than when we found her, which happens to make her a better writer than the protagonist, in which he realized that actually he is a second-rate writer with a fourth-rate pen. He gets talk no jutsu'd into being better, not to find out his American friend's favorite anime is Naruto. Or Domestic Girlfriend Yaoi Edition?
島唐辛子を青森につけた調味料だ。
We got a swimsuit section that leads to Rui and Sensei Sis making up, and Sensei Sis probably making some comments that may have insinuated that Natsu may have been able to eat his cake and fuck it too. No! Then plot twist.
私たち別れた方がいいと思うの。
待って、タイム。
Natsu almost gets broken up with, but he says nope and puts a ring on it, because you know the rule's there. If you like it, then you shoulda. Never mind. Finally, they smashed. Natsu's dreams have been achieved. He finally got to go to Pound Town with Sensei Sis. But before that though, she also claimed that this is the first time he's called her by her name, which I don't really feel like going back and verifying, but if that is the case, I can see why she treated him like a kid the entire time. And they all lived happily ever after that, the end. And credits, roll credits, all the credits, yep, credit, psych! Instead, they got caught, and that was the end of the episode. Episode 12 now. Miss Sensei Sis over here is forced to transfer schools like a cop escaping allegations, and Riz Sensei seems like he might be a little spooked. Quite honestly, I still feel like he's plowing Miss Submiss. Not only that, Sensei Sis abandoned Naruto. Oops, that's not the character. Sensei Sis abandoned Natsu, broke up with him over letter, which quite honestly may have been the best option, because we all know that this man struggles with nose. And this no put this man in the deepest depression that he ever has been in and probably ever will be in. Which brings me to my next point, which is what's going on with the parents? Are they like unaware at this point? Like, I'm confused on how the parents haven't recognized this weird situation going on with why this random kid is so sad and depressed about his stepsister leaving? And after some nice tough love from his boy, he decides he's going to write his emotions away and starve, because dude's still actually very depressed. His friend didn't help him at all. So now I know what you're thinking. What's gonna happen? Is this man gonna start writing and start to feel better? Become happy from expressing his thoughts, finally? Putting them into the ethos? Wrong, that is not the case. This is where we learn who the most important character of the show actually is. And that, my friends, is our boy Marie. Because this man rips this guy out from his depressive state. How does he do so? In the best way possible. A nude heart to heart. And boy, let me tell you, if you guys don't have at least one gay, if you guys don't at least have one gay friend right now who is your best gay wingman, this is your sign. Go find him. I got Wally, but he's abandoned me. My bad. My bad. Anyway, homeboy finally finishes his story, shows Sensei Riz his rough draft, who without his permission submitted his novel to an award, which he actually won. First place too. And this is where you learn that dude really is a writer. He's got writer's turtleneck. At the end of the night, he gets home and Rui truly tries to be Sensei Sis from home. I don't know what her God. Anyway, she accepts that she's second best to Sensei Sis, and then, yeah.
初めてあんたとした時は何も思わなかったけど、私もうひな姉に遠慮しないから。
Actually, the end. Oh, also, Sensei Sis still exists and cares for our boy still through all the little things that you notice here. But the thing is, our boy's learned to become frugal and has accepted that it is not the rate of the deck that matters, but what matters is the heart of the cards and your stepsis. Anyway, at the end of the day, how did I feel about this show? This show is definitely out of fucking pocket. Like, what the fuck? But the fact that it got me from beginning to end, like I actually wanted to watch the whole show from beginning to end, regardless of the reason, even if it is questionable, I think makes it a pretty decent show. I don't think I'll ever watch it again, but I'll give it a thumbs up. Well, thanks guys for watching. I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And if you guys like this kind of content, let me know down below. Also, let me know what other show you'd want me to binge watch and have commentary on, as long as there's not any more stepsisters. I think I'm done with stepsisters. There can only be one or two, I guess, technically, but there can only be one show that I watch about stepsisters. If I continue, this is going down a path I don't think I want to go down. And finally, let me know what you guys think of the show. Would you guys watch this show, or have you guys watched this show on your own time? Did you like it? Do you also have a stepsibling? And don't forget to show Wally some love down below and let him know that his poop break is over, okay? It's been way too long. I'll catch you on the next one. Fucking step-siblings, dude. What the fuck were they thinking? And after that traumatizing moment, Natsu and Ryu, Natsu and Ryu, they need to go find some clubs to get into, because you know they need extra. I can't speak. Natsu and Rui decide that they need to go find a club to going, yeah, because they need some extracurricular. It's our boy Marie, you know, the curl having, confident, full blast ass cheeks. Okay. I don't think I need to go any more into this bit.